Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for June 29th, 2019. With your host, Spaceburger244H, and wrap it up, Salon.
Hi.
It has been quite the week with GDQ going on.
Yep, it definitely has.
Let me check in with them real quick and see what the current total is. I know they're on the last run.
Yep. Which is Chrono Trigger, so.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's been upgraded to 100%. The incentive got meant to upgrade it to a 100% run. $2.3 million.
Dang.
And they are halfway through the run. Estimate-wise.
Which I think this is probably one of the few GDQs that I think most runs have actually went under estimate.
I know Keys' run didn't go under estimate.
It went under an estimate.
Yeah.
Not his original estimate.
Nope.
But I mean, it works because, I mean, at least he did go under the final estimate.
Yeah. Yeah, he was getting flack for that during the Let's Go run. Which, I guess before we
He was getting flack over that on his run. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, I guess before we get into what we played this week, any standout runs from the week?
I mean, I know there's a few runs I still want to kind of catch because I missed for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But of what I got to catch, anyhow, I don't think particularly there was like stuff that I wasn't expecting to happen with them. So
yeah,
I mean,
the blind punch out run was pretty cool to watch.
I didn't get to catch that one, so
yeah, he does. It's the Wii punch out. And he's also doing all the navigation blind. And he did Donkey Kong blind. And the thing is, for reference, it's all unique fights. So it's the first time around against everybody in the game, and then the second time around on all the title defenses. And some of the title defense fights, they're pure visual cues. There's barely an audible cue. So a lot of it comes down to timing and just knowing where you're going, because more or less you can manipulate the fights to go as you want them. But if you go off script, things go crazy. And since you're blind, or since he's blind, I don't. It's a little hard to get back on script because he's probably not sure what the boss is doing. Yeah, that one, I didn't check Passpot. I saw some of the Kaizo stuff, and that was pretty cool. I'm trying to think of what else. Just seeing everybody donating the national dex numbers for their Pokemon just to talk about their favorite Pokemon was kind of insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably have to sit down and actually make a list of like, all right, what did I actually see? I did catch the archive of the Froggy run that I forgot about until I saw they uploaded on YouTube, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh boy.
They were hype as fuck for that one. They made that seem way more epic than it was, because it freaking fishing. I know how that plays. So I guess let's talk about what we've been playing this past couple weeks or so.
Truthfully, not anything outside of what's been streamed. Because
I had a couple things.
I can't even count Cadence if I roll into that because, I have actually streamed it now, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have played the auto chess mode for League of Legends. I actually got around to it today. Is what I was going to do for the pre-show, but I had Star Fox on the mind, so I was like, I want to watch Star Fox. I want to play Star Fox. It's neat. I've managed to... The thing is, I don't know if auto chess is free for all, where you're matched up against a different person in like a 7-player lobby, essentially, or if it's just strictly one-on-one matches. But for League, it is essentially you're in an 8-player lobby, and you kind of round robin your way around the board against different players as you build up your deck. And I'm going to say your deck because that's an easy way to reference, to kind of call what you're doing. Because, do you know how this auto chess thing works?
Nope.
Okay. So, going from the League perspective, you buy a champion that's in the game for a certain number of coins. So, a basic normal one is 1 coin. I think a green is 2, a blue is 3, a purple is 4, and a gold is 5. So your basic standard rarity. So the higher you go up, the better they are.
Okay.
But when you buy them, they are at a bronze level. If you buy 3 of that same unit, they combine and make a silver unit, which is a step up in terms of their abilities. And if you get 3 silvers of that unit, you get a gold. And you place these units on a board that you can only have up to 8, maybe, if you max out, if you are get up high enough to get 8. Normally, you're at the start of the game, you're probably going to start off with like 3 units. And after you place them, they will do battle with another player's units or minions or monsters or whatever. And if they win, you win. If not, you lose. If you win, the opponent takes damage off their health bar. If you lose, you take damage on your health bar. And essentially, your health doesn't need... If your health hits 0, you lose, and you're out. So it's kind of a last man standing situation. So you're more or less trying to balance like how many units you're trying to get and what you're after. Because on the side, you can see different, essentially, deck bonuses or team bonuses, essentially. So let's say you get 2 units that have the wild subtext attached to them. If you do that, they get increased attack speed for every time they attack. But if you get 4 wild units, that bonus then applies to everybody on your team on the field. This is why I say deck bonuses, because you're more or less building a deck over the course of the game. You're picking a theme based off what you initially get, and you're building around that theme. Because from my experience, I feel like The deck bonuses are what you need to be shooting for and what you need to build around. If you can get those going, you can survive a lot of rounds into late game when you can maybe risk pulling in like the big monsters or the big champions, even if they're bronze level. Because bear in mind, you have to buy the unit. So they have to pop up in the shop, and the shop only has 5 slots. And while the shop rotates every round, you can spend 2 coins to rotate the shop automatically. So now your money is a balance of, okay, the shop has nothing. Do I rotate it? And if I have enough, get something, or lock it so I can use the money from the next match I'm doing, or do I wait until the next match? So there's a lot of strategy to it that I dig. And all of your units are champions that are in the game. They all only have one ability attacked from their moveset in the game. Most of your first 3 tiers have 2 teams that they apply to, whereas if you go higher into purple and gold, those have 3. And some units only have a unique name to them, like Blitzcrank. He's the only one with robot, but if you get him on the field, he starts with mana. And you want to know what his ability is?
What?
The yoink.
Oh god.
So he yoinks a unit out of position.
So he's as obnoxious as ever.
Right. Yasuo has one as well, Exile. And essentially his is just put him away from your group. As long as he starts a round with no units around him, he gets his wind shield. Those are a couple of the unique ones I've ran into. I'm sure there are others, and there are other team bonuses that I haven't really played with. But yeah, I dig it. It'd probably be fun because you can play against your friends along with random people in a lobby. So essentially, you and I can party up together, and then we can queue up, and then we'll pretty much be in a 8-man lobby together. We'll be in the same lobby. So maybe something for next week, as long as it is still active, because it's currently in beta.
Yeah.
And also, I think the pool of champions is pretty small, relatively speaking, to how many champions are in base league. But again, it's in beta. They're probably more or less testing out the mechanics of it, or testing out a lot of the framework of it before they start giving you, hey, here's every champion in the game. Because a couple of my favorites are not in there. There's no Sivir, there's no Caitlyn, there's no V. The closest they get to some of my favorites is Syndra and Garen and Ashe. And that's kind of it. But more or less, it's a lot of the older champions. So even if you're out of the loop on League, you'll probably be able to recognize somebody. I've also played Return of the Obra Dinn that I picked up off the Steam Summer Sale. It is a neat little 3D detective game, is the best way I can call it. More or less, you are an insurance agent and you are investigating what happened to the Obra Dinn that is now returned to dock. And you have a magic pocket watch that allows you to see the last moments of somebody's death. So when you use the pocket watch on somebody's body or where somebody's bodies was, because there were 60 crew members on the Obra Dinn, but there's not 60 bodies on the ship. There's maybe 10 bodies on the ship. But through hopping from memory to memory, you can find out what happened to everybody else. So when you use the Pocket Watch, you get a black screen and text and audio leading into the last moment. And the last moment is a freeze frame that you can walk around and explore with. And you can see different people acting out whatever is in the scene. But it's a freeze frame, so you get to walk around, see everything, identify people because you have pictures of who all was on the ship. And you're more or less trying to go, all right, who is who, because you don't know who's who. And you also don't know how everyone died. And since you're an insurance agent, you need to be specific. So you need to go, it's this person, and they died this way, and if they are in fact murdered, you need to specify who murdered them. And a lot of times in this game, they don't say people's names. It's a very rare instance if you hear somebody's name, especially in direct reference to that person. So you're more or less taking a lot of guesses and using a lot of guesswork to figure out who's who. But the game will confirm if you're right every 3 people. So if you get 3 people right, it will confirm those 3 people. But I played through it. I used a little help to kind of sort out some of them because I ended up with, hey, I know how this person died. That's the easy part. I still don't know who they are. Because you need to spend a few hours poring over the information you have, going back to memories, looking at where people are, cross-referencing different memories, and who was who and where they were in order to get their job title. Because you do have everyone's job title, so they all have a station. So if you can figure out where everybody was, you can kind of narrow down your list of suspects or list of potential people. But yeah, it is a process, but it's an enjoyable process. But it's $10 or so on the Steam Summer Sale. It's cheap. So I highly encourage it for just to sit down, fun game to play for a little bit. I picked up the Clue Season Pass, so now I have everything in Clue, which is fun. Showed that off pre-show recently. Or no, Wednesday. I don't think I've shown off anything else I picked up in the Steam Summer Sale. It was Yakuza 0's next week. And I can't think of anything else I've played. Oh, I picked up the equipment for the final Splatfest. You just have to go through the news app and download it from there. Yeah, I'd say that's everything. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
All right. Let's get to news in. Who's ready to talk about the Pokemon situation that everyone is hot and bothered about?
No one.
Well, in an official statement from Masuda himself on the Pokemon website, which I have directly linked for clarity, they've more or less went on record saying, hey, we're probably not going to be putting every Pokemon in Sword and Shield, even in after release updates. But that doesn't mean it won't be the case for future games. Granted, that's a potential, not a full confirmation, but that is very much a potential outcome at the moment. So, yeah, So how you feeling after hearing that?
Hmm. I kind of feel like that's a bad decision on their part.
A little, yeah.
Like, why not say that it's potentially DLC? Like, maybe word it so that it's not on the table to be DLC at the moment, but it potentially could be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that's just a poor decision altogether. I get not having it at release.
Yeah.
But just not doing it, period. It's like,
I feel like this is once more a what are our options here, and what can we honestly realistically do? It makes me wonder if, like, okay, if we are not potentially getting the rest of the Pokemon through updates for Sword and Shield, then what is our post-release support for Sword and Shield going to be? If it's not this. I'm still excited for Sword and Shield, but I feel like the Pokemon Company and Game Freak are in a more than likely just in a no-win situation at this point of, like, no matter what they do, they're fucked. So I feel like even if they dedicate resources to getting all the Pokemon in, that's taking away from whatever they were going to originally do at this point.
Mm.
If there was anything, so it's a no-win situation. But hopefully Sword and Shield are good. It's the only thing I hope for right now. But in other Nintendo-related news, Sakurai talked about the 2 new additions to the roster that were shown off at E3. The Dragon Quest Hero and Banjo-Kazooie. And apparently Banjo-Kazooie weren't hard.
Doesn't surprise me.
Like, it was harder to do the Dragon Quest Hero than it was Banjo-Kazooie. Like, Rare even helped out with getting the 2 of them in Smash.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, doesn't surprise me.
Although Sakurai was worried about working with Grant Kirchhoff because of the language barrier, but it worked out. But apparently for the Dragon Quest Hero, Square Enix had stipulations about stipulations and restrictions about the use of the protagonist character in spin-off titles. And even in Dragon Quest Heroes, we don't see the protagonist in any of the character lineups. It's like all of your party members. And of course, the Dragon Quest, Dragon Quest 8 is apparently a request from Western fans.
Oh.
Apparently, it's the most popular one outside of Japan. And finally, Sakurai said that he has no interest in the console wars of Nintendo versus Sony versus Microsoft. He believes all consoles have great games, and thus he will respect the games, over where they come out. Thanks, Sakurai. I really appreciate that comment. Can we just appreciate the games that are on the consoles and not get hung up about who has the better box that they're on?
Switch is best console. Someone fight me.
At this point, yes, but I still appreciate the games that are on each individual console.
I would appreciate them more if there were more titles that were only for Xbox One or only for PS4. I have no problems with either console. I have a problem with the lack of games that are exclusive. And I don't mean timed exclusive, I mean legitimately exclusive.
Well, Bloodstain came out this week, right? And a few choice names got put into the credits that are probably not backers. One of those being the very choice hashtag fuck Konami. Which, considering the very nature of Bloodstained, way to just put a neon sign on that one.
Although, I am going to put it this way. It is entirely possible that that could be someone's backer name.
Well, there are also other references, specifically Symphony of the Night references, in a Mighty Number 9 reference. Because, you know, Mighty Number 9 did not go well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it's not clear, Iga and his team have made Bloodstain very much as a giant middle finger to Konami of, here is a Castlevania game we wanted to make. Here it is. And it's better than a few of the recent Castlevanias. Mainly because those recent Castlevanias are all the Lords of Shadow related material.
I still want to say, though, I feel like it might be a case of that might be legit and not them trying to poke fun. But it was a happy coincidence that they probably were not going to change even if they were asked to.
Yep. To be fair, Konami's not answering back anytime soon.
I mean, I am going to say that. I feel like it's probably a case of that might be legitimate, but at this point, that's never getting changed.
Yep.
There's going to have to be a cease and desist from Konami before that gets changed. But yeah.
Well, we have some choice quotes from EA CEO about Anthem. Oh boy. So, from Andrew Wilson, and at E3, from E3, specifically about Anthem, he stated that multiple facets of the game are compelling and that they aren't giving up.
Even though they need to. I mean...
IP lives for generations and runs in these 7 to 10 year cycles. So if I think about Anthem on a 7 to 10 year cycle, it may not have had the start that many of us wanted, including our players. I feel like the team is really going to get there with something special and something great, because they've demonstrated that they can.
So, Anthem is gonna be the next Destiny?
Well, I mean, it's already got the skeleton of it, so. EA wants their own Destiny.
No, see, EA needs a Destiny. And I don't mean the game. I mean, the actual sense of the word. When
and
you
more
rely
fun
on
quote.
when you rely on pretty much Madden and FIFA, yeah, you need anything.
Yep. And more fun quotes. He said that BioWare has to evolve and start to make games for kids today who are 12-year-olds who weren't around for when BioWare started making games. They have different expectations.
Then why don't they just make a Call of Duty clone?
Because they already have Battlefield for that.
Well, then just put BioWare on that, and there you go. Congratulations, you did it.
They have different expectations of what a BioWare game should be in the context of the world they've grown up in. And that's definitely true to a degree. BioWare can't coast on nostalgia forever as they get further and further away from their classic IPs and wheelhouse. They need to prove themselves more in a way that they never had to before. So that's why they're making Dragon Age 4, right? I do love how EA, even the article points out, maybe suddenly threatening BioWare with closure if they don't fucking get a hit for them. Thanks, EA. Appreciate that. You know, it doesn't help when you hamstring their development by forcing them to use Frostbite when Anthem super didn't need to be developed on Frostbite. Check out the Kotaku article for that one. In other news, specifically Nintendo news,
Again.
You know how we're getting a Dr. Mario game on mobile?
Yeah.
So it's going to be less Dr. Mario and more Dr. Mario and his compatriots who all went to medical school. So as you can
Dr.
see,
Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Peach, and I'm assuming Yoshi based off of the title.
And Dr. Toad. Let's not forget Dr. Toad.
Oh, do we have Dr. Toadette also?
I don't know if it was spotted in the footage, but probably.
Because
Also,
I feel like the internet has gotten to the point now where Toadette is best Toad.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I mean,
Also, the game seems to play a little differently. It seems to be you're placing the viruses on the puzzle boards or more or less have a certain amount of moves that you need to complete the level in. So it's more puzzle-like than it is normal Dr. Mario, which is more Tetris-like. And we have
I'd really say traditional Dr. Mario is more Puyo Puyo like.
Yeah.
Not really.
We have up to 169 levels, well, with more to come, I assume, at release.
And okay, I'm looking at the video.
Uh-huh.
That's effectively every other Bubble Match 3 game that is already on mobile.
Yay!
Like almost at that point. They did a little bit, but it's practically the same.
Yep.
And it's probably running in the Super Mario Run engine.
By the way, 321 for the look of Dr. Yoshi, which is just Yoshi with a first aid kit. You can have different characters. They all have different abilities. So Dr. Toad has 10 can select up to 10 random locations to just drop and clear. Whereas Yoshi, what was his ability? Can eliminate 3 objects at random.
That's not Dr. Yoshi, that's Medic Yoshi.
Well, technically everyone in this game is a doctor, so he's a doctor. Although I do love the joke I saw on Twitter of Peach, Bowser, and Luigi dressing up as doctors and going to surprise Mario, only to find out that Mario and Dr. Mario are in fact 2 different people. And then they run into their counterparts, and it's like, what the fuck? And like, Luigi and Bowser both have glasses. July 10th is the release date, and I assume the Pokemon Masters will be coming out sometime later. I didn't grab an article for it, even though we had the stream for it, because I don't think anything too spectacular came out of it that we didn't already know about. It's mostly just, here's a trainer or a gym leader. They have 1 Pokemon that's attached to them, 3v3 active time battle fights, and that's kind of it.
You know what's funny though? I just got to noticing something with Dr. Mario World. It's kind of weird that, you know, Bowser's playing the role of the hero. Because if you think about it, he's not placing them, he's helping remove the virus.
Who needs a villain? Did he ever place the viruses in any of the other Dr. Marios?
I don't think he's ever really a part of any of the others. But I find that kind of funny that they're using a pretty much consistent villain in the Mario universe as a hero. And it's like, wonder if this has anything to do with, you know, the new NOA president.
Maybe. Also, I think for the lore reference, Peach has gotten the upgrade from nurse to doctor, because I believe in the last Dr. Mario related thing, she was technically a nurse. But now she is a full-fledged doctor.
So she went back to school between these games.
Apparently. Went back, got those extra 6 years or so. I don't know. I don't know how much more schooling you need to go from nurse to doctor. The nursing school is rough. I was in college in a honors club at the local community college with a couple of people who were in the nursing program there. It sounded rough as hell. Mainly due to the fact of, in case you don't realize this, nurses are the ones that pretty much run everything in a hospital.
Yeah.
Like a hospital does not run without nurses because they do most of the work.
For half of the pay.
Yes.
Because quite frankly, they don't get paid nowhere near what a doctor does. And do way more.
Yeah. Yeah, a hospital does not run without them. So, hell, I don't think any medical facility really runs without a well-staffed nursing system. But yeah, that was kind of it for the week of really a smaller listing of stuff. There wasn't anything real spectacular or amazing. I mean, hell, just before we started, there was beta info for Halo Infinite, but nothing really amazing there either. It was just, hey, this is going to happen within the next year. Hey, here's a hint to customization stuff. Or, hey, did you max out your rank in Halo 5? Oh, you'll get a cool thing. That's kind of it. Granted, it does feel like, yeah, everyone blew everything at E3. Now it's just quiet again.
Of course.
But anything else?
Besides me trying to clean up a little bit on the releases there.
Yeah, I forgot to do that.
Because, yeah, as you said, you forgot to do that.
Yep. Probably didn't help that I woke up extremely early this morning because my dog refuses to just go lay back down after my mom leaves. No, he has to go out when she leaves. Don't know why, but he gets really pacey and really like, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna get in something. I'm gonna get in trouble unless you let me out. I can't lay down. Nope, I can't. I literally can't. So I get woke up early in the morning in order to let him out. So, and today I didn't go back to sleep because by the time it rolled around where I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap, Ty was about to stream, and I'm like, I don't want to miss this, so I might as well stay up and roll with it.
Okay, I think that's better. Editing
So
on the fly.
So I've been up since 8:30-ish this morning. But anyway, shall we talk releases?
I guess we shall.
All right. Kicking off on July 1st, actually, we have Redneck Skeet Shooting for the Switch. This sounds like something that would be on the Wii.
But the Switch has motion controls too.
I meant more, this is the kind of shovelware that I would expect on the Wii.
Indie titles are shovelware too sometimes.
Very true. Picking up on the 2nd, we have As Divine Deals for PlayStation 4 and Vita, Dream Daddy a Dad Dating Simulator for the Switch, Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers for PlayStation 4 and PC, just for reference. Technically, if you have the advanced access, early access for a couple days, you've already been playing it, but if not, it officially comes out on the 2nd. They're apparently having an extremely smooth launch for an MMO. Granted, it's the early access people that have got it, but still, it's extremely smooth. I feel oddly tempted by 14, but apparently the base game is a real slog, especially in terms of the story and characters and stuff. Like, it really doesn't take off until you get to the first expansion, which feels bad, but also feels like the opposite problem that SWTOR has.
Yeah.
Where it's like, the base game stories are really good, and then the expansion stories are meh. Because you're no longer your individual class, you're more just, hey, you who did an important thing. That is whatever your class was. Here's a storyline for you. You lose the uniqueness of your character. We also have Paradox Soul for PlayStation 4 and Vita, Cyver Delta for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered for Switch, and Scrapper First Strike for PlayStation 4, and Will A Wonderful World for PlayStation 4 and Switch. On the 3rd, we have Brainbreaker for PlayStation 4, BuzzFix 2019 for Switch, Illusion of La Phallica? I'm not crazy and that says Phallica, right?
Sounds spelled. I don't know if that sounds pronounced.
It's probably not supposed to be pronounced that way, but sure looks that way. And this looks like a bog standard JRPG. Okay. So that's coming out on Xbox One. We have Lucha, Born of a Dream for Switch. Just Cause 4, Los Diminos DLC, I assume, for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And Ovivo for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. On the 4th, we have Ankh Guardian Treasures of the Demon Temple for Switch. As Divine Dios for Switch. Clan for Switch. Pure Mahjong for Switch. Stranger Things 3, the game, for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. And What Remains of Edith Finch for the Switch. On the 5th, we have Attack on Titans 2, Final Battle for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Hero Express for Switch. Sea of Solitude for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Cyrillium 3 for Switch. Super Mutant Alien Assault for Vita. And They Are Billions for Xbox One. On the 9th, we have Hyper Light Ultimate for Switch. Penn and Teller VR. Frankly Unfair, Unkind, Unnecessary, and Underhanded for PlayStation 4. Senran Kagura Peach Ball, my bad, for Switch. Numihara Kawase Fresh for Switch. On the 10th, we have Dougling's Invasion for Xbox One, Grasscutter Mutated Lawns for Xbox One and Switch, Soul Seraph for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. And on the 11th, we have Blazing Chrome for Switch, Dead in Vinland True Viking Edition for Switch, Doodle God Crime City for Switch, Eagle Island for Switch, Metalode Origin for Switch, Nelly Kutalot, the Foul Fleet for Switch, Professor Lupo and his Horrible Horrible Pets for Switch. Wow. Completely different context there.
Yeah.
Skull of the Shogun Bonafide Edition for Switch, Tiny Metal Full Metal Rubble for Switch, Vector Wars for Switch, and Way Out for Switch. And finally, on the 12th, we have Aglios for Xbox One, Dragon Quest Builders 2 for PlayStation 4 and Switch, God Eater 3 for Switch, Lethal League Blades for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Metal Slug 3 for Vita, Red Faction for PlayStation 4, Redeemer Enhanced Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, and Streets of Rogue for Xbox One and Switch. Which brings us to quick draws, and I'm honestly surprised to say, hey, they're doing a Soto Another Rider 2 set. And it's essentially, here's 2 more of the TV show Another Riders, and here's 2 of the Another Movie Rider. / here's also the one that also appeared in the series up by now. Doubly so, because they appeared in this week's episode of Geo. I watched the Raw.
You poor thing.
I know. The Another Riders have more or less been turned into goons. Very disposable goons at that, so it's like, ugh.
You know, I like it. Except for, why do we have Trigger Joker?
I was about to say, that's technically supposed to be Cyclone Joker, but...
You see that, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
That is a blue, not a green.
Yeah, might need a bit of color correction on that one. Which is weird, because they've done Soto double for Cyclone Joker and Cyclone, and it's the proper green. Maybe they're trying to get
To be fair, they could even get away with using the same green they did on the Another O's, and that would work.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be exact, but it would be close enough.
I guess they're trying to match the bit of the muted green that's on Another Double. Doesn't give the best look, but there's a picture of the actual suit. It is a bit different than the normal green we're used to seeing for Cyclone Joker.
Yeah, but that's not blue. That's still got a green tint to it.
Yeah.
Like, the picture that you're quick draw, no, that's a blue.
Yeah.
I could get it if that's what they were going for, but it should be like a teal kind of color.
And of course,
blue.
by my calculations, we hopefully should be getting 4 more sets of these to get all the other riders from the series, including the movies. Because as it also got shown off in this week's episode, let me grab a picture of it because I showed it off on the pre-show earlier, but I don't think you got to catch it. We got another drive in another decade from behind. That is another drive on the left and another decade between another Kuga and another Agito on the right. For reference, that is not another Kabuto. You can do a side-by-side comparison with the suit, and it's not it. Doesn't line up. It is most likely probably a modification of the another Kabuto suit to get another drive. Since that another Decade suit looks suspiciously like Decade armor for Sogo.
Yeah, it does.
It's almost like these last couple of another riders are probably going to be modifications of existing suits.
The another drive, I kind of see the aesthetic they're going for, though.
Yeah.
Because I think they're trying to focus all the tire changes into it, which works.
Yeah, it looks very Type Trideron-esque.
Maybe. Like, that at the top looks almost like the, like shurikens from, Flare.
Yeah.
So it might be more focused on the base forms. Kind of like how another double is.
Yep.
Granted, another double I have to think would be the easiest and the hardest all at once to try to implement all of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably the easiest because you slap a bunch of colors together, but at the same time it's probably the hardest because how do you do that without making it look like crap?
Mm-hmm. Especially for Soto for figures when it's a 3.5 to 4 inch scale.
Yeah.
And also, these things are a bit unpainted in places for reference. To give an idea, since they got shown off also in the same blog, I will grab the image because I know this website just giving you the page snaps your computer in half. So
I think it's because Chrome tries to do all kinds of weird things at once, and it's like, nope.
Yeah. That is the Another Fives figure with the stickers and then without the stickers. Because they showed off another Fives and another Gaim, because that's the first set, is another Fives, another Gaim, another Build, and another Xaid. And I assume next week's blog will give us in-hand shots of the other two, since their release is the end of this month-ish? Or no, start of next month, I think. Within the next month, we'll have the first Another Rider set out, and I believe another Ride 2, or another 2 was coming out, and September? Nope, October, my bad. October 28th. Which means we're going to be well into 0-1's run when we get another 2. I feel conflicted about this because on one hand, I hate Geo and I don't want anything to do with it. On the other, the Another Riders are probably the one thing I really like about this series. And it also doesn't help that between these two sets, like, there's a lot of series I like here. But there are other rider designs that will never be made in any other class and any other scale, so I still kind of want these.
Like, personally, if I was going to get anything Geo-related, it probably would be the Another Riders.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the only good thing with the show. And I don't mean as characters, I mean the suits.
Yeah. And hell, between these two, I'm trying to think. The only things I'm missing are Wizard, Drive, and the Kuga and Agito ones of the shows I like. And that's it. I don't need another Geo or another Geo 2, which, by the way, it's technically another Geo 2 in this week's episode. And he also has the ability to reverse time now.
Yay.
So just like Grand Geo, except Sogo didn't use it this week because, oops. Forgot about that power. I don't particularly need another Ghost. And I also don't need any of the Heisei 1 or the Phase 1 Another Riders, to be honest. Yeah, I'm tempted. Just like Ride Plus 1 is kind of tempting for the future riders. But I think I've extremely cooled off on that one. Because I'm also like, do I really want these three people? And I think my answer is no, because I also need, thankfully it's right there. We also got episode summaries for Geo for the next couple weeks.
Oh boy.
More or less, you know how we're doing the watch through for O's and Forza for TGS reviews, so I can show off how good Megamax is?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, Aqua is showing up on the first, essentially in the 43rd episode, looking for Edgy, and will be turned into another Aqua, I guess, in episode 44. And Sogo is going to go back to 2011, which is when Megamax takes place, I believe, in order to find out who the fuck this person is and why does he know Edgy. So, great. Sogo gets to insert himself in my favorite crossover film. Thanks. Thanks, Sogo. Thanks, dipshit. Can you not insert yourself in this movie? This movie is good as is. I don't need you here. Stop it. That's all we got this week. So it's a shorter episode, to be honest, but we're coming out of E3. There's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But anything else?
I can't think of anything, actually.
All right. Tuesday, we are picking up where we left off with O's with the next 4 episodes. I forget the episode numbers offhand.
17 through 20? Question mark?
Hang on, pulling up the watch list. This is specifically why I made this watch list. For reminders.
Feels like I need it too.
Didn't I give this to you?
I don't know.
I feel like I gave it to you.
You probably did.
Do you need it again?
Probably.
Okay. Not that, not that. There it is. Boop. Yep, 17 through 20.
Hey, I was right.
More or less dealing with not anything related to movie Warcore, but proper O's Tajanore's debut in the series, along with introducing us to Date as Birth. Wednesday will be something. I have no idea, to be honest. I'm stalling. I'm stalling on my show, on my days until next month.
I mean, you did pick up 2 puzzle games.
I've already beaten the Return to the Obra Dinn.
I'm talking about Portal and Portal 2.
Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, that's what else I picked up. Herp.
I mean, it might not last the entire time, but it might at least give something to pad with.
Yeah, I might do a bit of Portal 1. Yeah, Thursday is... We're just gonna play some Yakuza Kiwami. And once more, install until fucking Ultimate Alliance 3 and 3 Houses come out, which, just for reference, the Fridays they come out, that's gonna be the pre-show, is me starting up those games. So, technically, you're gonna get a bonus stream on the Fridays. Because I will more than likely just start early, go the usual amount of time, and then we'll just do our normal things on Fridays. Because I would super like to get those games started at some point. Friday will be second to last stream of Twilight Princess, assuming we do good.
Probably, yeah.
And Saturday will be... When's Splatfest, actually?
17th to the 21st.
Okay. Well, before I end the stream, I need to step away real quick.
Okay. Honestly, don't know Saturday right yet. I've got a few things in mind, but I don't know what yet.
I had to let the dog in real quick.
But yeah, I honestly have no idea Saturday right now. I've got a few ideas.
We could do Legato Chest. Chest. Why'd I say chest?
Like I said, I've got a few ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the week ahead. If you enjoyed what you're listening to, or anything you've seen this last week, give us a follow. Tell your friends. Tell them to hang out. We would love to get our average viewers up so we can be affiliate. So we can do stuff with affiliate. Not sub-only streams, mind you, because we probably won't ever do that.
Yeah, probably never.
That is not a thing we're going to do.
Like, unless we just randomly get like 1,000 subs or something like that, then no.
Yeah, no. We had 180 followers. Tommy will be doing all of his speed runs, and I will be playing a terrible WrestleMania game whenever we reach that goal. Well, around whenever we reach that goal. Yeah. We will see you next week then, folks.